Fam, what's going on? Kyle Henderson, Bama Football on YouTube. Good morning. Could I get a roll tide inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys watching this morning. It is Wednesday. It is July 10th. I hope you guys are off to an amazing start, and I hope that you guys are just productive. I hope that you guys are feeling good. I hope that you guys are happy. I hope that you guys are healthy. Give me a roll tide inside the comment box as we continue to cruise through this week. We continue with the cold summer theme, and we start to turn the page to who is next. Derek Meadows will be announcing this Saturday. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about which wide receiver do you think will jump on board. We'll talk a little bit about Mike Gundy. As you know, Big 12 Media Days was yesterday. He had some interesting comments about the Doak Walker Award winner. I thought that was interesting. You also had Kyle Whittingham of Utah. So you're starting to have college football coaches up at the podium. One thing that I noticed yesterday from the Big 12 Media Day, as I was kind of combing through the press conferences, my goodness, man, like I miss Coach Saban's personality. Like that's one of the things that I'm going to miss the most is kind of just his personality. But you do have big personalities in the SEC, right? You got the Lane Kiffin. You have, I think Kirby Smart is interesting to listen to. I mean, and, some of the rivalry comments, like you never know what Brian Kelly's going to say or Josh Heupel. Then you welcome in new additions like Steve Sarkisian, Brett Venables. So I can't wait for SEC Media Days, which will be next week. Alabama will be at the podium on July 17th. As Jarvis is saying, Team USA, the men's basketball team, plays in Canada tonight at 9:30 Central PM on Fox Sports 1, just to FYI. We appreciate you guys. We talked about this a little bit, and we won't spend much time about it, but Turbo Rogers on Flip Watch, that was something that was brought up by Steve Whitfong yesterday of On3. We'll touch on that a little bit as well. We'll relook at the wide receiver room again. I'll have a couple questions for you about the wide receiver room. We'll talk about Kobe Prentice. I want to spotlight him today, and we'll look one more time at the offensive line room. Garrett Clement, what's up? Good morning. Let me give some shout outs. So why don't you guys list where you guys are watching from inside the comment box so I can get you guys locked and loaded. I appreciate you guys being here and being subscribers of Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining me this fine morning right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I think when, you kind of look to Alabama and the momentum that they have, like the momentum hasn't slowed down. Just be patient. What happened over the last 3 weeks was kind of just this snowball effect of high impact recruits that have joined Alabama football's class of 2025, which right now looks to eventually be the number one recruiting class in the country. It's going to take some time, but I think Alabama will get there. And I know that there was recently some new adjustments in terms of the player rankings. You have Michael Carroll, who's now a 5-star, and you have Keon Keeley, who was not listed as a 5-star. Look, I think, in my opinion, and I think we can all agree, and if I put up a poll right now and asked you if Keelan Russell should be a 5-star, I think it would be 100% yes. Okay, look, the rankings, do they absolutely matter? I mean, when all said and done, no. But when all said and done is yes. I mean, that's the number one thing that, universities put out when they release their signing days, where they, finished in the On3 or, 24/7 Rivals recruiting rankings. So Keelan Russell is going to be a 5-star on On3. I promise you that. He's not right now. I disagree with that. There's a lot of stuff that they put out that I really like. I'm always talking about On3. I kind of refer to them as a mothership, but I think they missed on that. You miss on things, and whatever, you go forward. It doesn't take away anything about this recruiting class. I think that Keelan Russell, if anything, it provides some more ammunition for him to be like, okay, well, let's see what I can continue to do this coming year. You continue to add chips on your shoulder. And look, you're not entitled to anything just because you committed to Alabama. You don't get the 5-star bump. But with that said, like referring to him, he earned that based off the awards that he has won already this summer. So he'll get the 5-star. If you follow the recruiting rankings and you get caught up on that, you're pissed off, like just kind of let it roll off your back, because he will be a 5-star eventually. Michael Carroll now the number one interior offensive lineman in the country. Huge get for Alabama. So who's next, right? When we kind of look to the board about who could be next to commit to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Before we get to that, let me give out some shout outs right here on Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me. We got Max Tooney checking in. We got Jarvis, of course. Kaylin up in the house. DC777. Southern Red, good morning. We're having the coffee together. Yep, got to have the coffee nice and hot. AJ, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box. Bama Steel, what's going on? Jay coming to us from Haleyville. Old Rock Guy, what's up, man? Appreciate you coming to us from Texas. Clint, what's up, man? See you up in the house. Keith, what's going on? Ruben Poole, good morning to you. Stay blessed. Patriot Life, what's up, man? See you inside. Coming to us from Chattanooga. Garrett, what's going on, man? See you inside the comment box. Steven, and if you guys are not green, like listed inside the green, that means you are not part of the undefeated. So if you want to become a part of the undefeated, that's a community that supports me right here and the YouTube channel, only $2.99. There's a link up top of the homepage. You can hit that. $2.99, support the product right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Chris, I see you inside the comment box. Clint is coming to us from Knoxville. Wow, behind enemy lines. And I think I got everybody else. We got F3T. What's up? I see you inside the comment box as well. Kaylin coming to us from Dogtown, and the champ, part of the undefeated right here on Bama Football on YouTube. All right, so as we turn the page, we have a commit that is about to announce his decision this coming Saturday. Okay, and I'll go full screen on this. And Patriot Life has gifted 10 fan funderships to everybody. So you could see who was gifted right here. AJ was just gifted. David was gifted. Maddie P was gifted. Hot Like was gifted. Automatic was gifted. Lieutenant Dan Gaming was gifted. David was gifted. LA was gifted. We got a few more to go. The Cool Show was gifted. The Lord Shanks was gifted. And we appreciate you, Patriot Life, helping build this fan funder. And Southern Red in with 5 fan funders as well. We'll continue to read them out. Buck has been gifted. Matty Fars has been gifted. Peasy, Bugman, and Brian Russell, one of my favorites. Certainly, you guys have been funded. So we appreciate it. So if you want to be, help build the community that supports, honestly, me and the YouTube channel, you guys, $2.99. I appreciate you, Southern Red and Patriot Live. Thank you so much for helping build this community. So what we have on Saturday is Derek Meadows. Look, I really want Derek Meadows. If you want to be fansy, like, this is one guy that I want in this class. A couple of reasons why. I think guys that are absolute ballers out of Bishop Gorman in the Las Vegas area. But when you look to the wide receivers that you want on your team and around a guy like Keelan Russell, and I think a Jamarcus Shepard could do absolutely wonders with this phenom of talent. He's a 4-star. He's the #1 player in Nevada. He's 6'6", 205 pounds. So, I mean, this guy is a mismatch problem. Now, he is committing on Saturday. There hasn't been a lot of the big names like Andrew Bone or Steve Whitfong or, the guys kind of in the know that have really released, their decision on where he's going to go. I think it's going to be interesting on Saturday. You kind of go back to like the Justin Hill thing. I mean, a lot of people felt that he was an Ohio State lock, and then he committed to Alabama. It's been pretty quiet, to be honest, on Derek Meadows. I'm not sure why. I kind of like the excitement. So this is happening on Saturday. I don't have a time. Is there anyone that has seen a time? Hey, Clint, thank you so much for becoming a fan funder. We appreciate you becoming a level 1 fan funder. And I don't know, Max, if LSU has kind of turned up the heat. It wouldn't be good if he commits to LSU, because I think this guy is going to be, ultra elite. I kind of look to like the 4-star. Oh, I see he's a 5-star on 24/7. Whatever the case is, the guy's an absolute baller. So he's 6'6", 205. I don't have a time frame. If there's someone that has seen a time on Saturday, please post it inside the comment box. AJ in with the horns down emoji. I love that emoji. I got to update some emojis. Okay, I need to write this down. Because we need like some cold emojis and some things that are relevant. So I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna work on that today. Emojis update. All right. So I don't know. Derek Meadows on watch. Let me ask you, okay? When we look to guys who could commit, let me fix this for everybody. Sometimes the scaling on some of these things gets off. I'm not sure why. Derek Meadows. So this is what I want to ask you. When we look to the wide receivers, all these photos, I got them from On3. So let me ask you, if there's a wide receiver to jump on board, and if you feel there's multiple, then go ahead and list that. But if you feel that Derek, and these are all wide receivers in the class of 2025, do you feel that any of these wide receivers on the board will commit to Alabama, right? So if you feel that Derek Meadows is going to commit, maybe we start there on Saturday, type A. If you feel that Travis Smith is going to commit, remember he was the one with Jamarcus Shepard was hyping up, type B. If you feel that Khalid Lockett is going to jump on board, type C. Right? If you feel they're all going to, jump on board, then you can type A, B, and C, or you could type A and C, or you could type B and A, or whatever combination you want. Brian, what's up, man? College Football 25. Oh, man, that's a GFs. Man, you know what? So we've been streaming at night, and I know the gameplay is going to be different. Madden, been getting it ready. I'm 0-3 if you've been following, okay? Still looking for that first dub streaming. But we are getting excited for the game which drops here next week. Okay, so we have Marcus, who said B. Chris from New Jersey is saying C. Khalid Lockett is a 5-star. Max Toon is saying B or C. So, see, it seems like we're kind of floating away from Derek Meadows. And that kind of seems to be the case. So I don't know. I mean, I would love for him to jump in this class. Again, if you are committed, you're not signed. So there's still kind of, life to watch in the recruiting process. He's just the guy that I'd really like to get. But I wouldn't be mad about Travis Smith or Khalid Lockett jumping on board. I mean, you already have Latair Brooks. In my opinion, I like Latair Brooks at the H position, who's kind of like that slot. And I would love for Derek Meadows to kind of be that bigger wide receiver, maybe like the X or the Z. Man, I would love to get Meadows. But I don't know. Just kind of reading through the comment box to see what you think. Actually, I might post a poll real quick just to see what you guys think. I know that, and let me ask. So I'm going to start with Derek Meadows, okay? Let's see, type it right here. Do you think Meadows commits to Alabama? Let's just kind of check the polls. All right, so I've just asked you a question with the poll, and it's simple. Do you think Meadows commits to Alabama? Yes or no? I'm really undecided on this, so I'm curious to kind of see what you guys think. I think it's kind of gone back and forth. Max is saying no. And hey, Patriot Life with the 50 spot. I appreciate it, Patriot Life. Thank you so much for continuing to support me, honestly, and the YouTube channel. Henry with the 5 spot. Thank you so much. Wednesday. It was crazy thinking of Patriot Life. I'm going to let you guys get to the poll, and then I'll read the poll. I did a YouTube short on the 4th of July. And remember when I had my USA bandana on? And someone was like, what are you trying to convey by wearing a bandana, a United States bandana? And I was last night with Kaden and T, and I was like, man, honestly, someone thinks that I have like a hidden agenda by wearing a United States bandana. I love this country. I support those who are currently serving our freedoms, like protecting our freedoms, and those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. So we could have conversations even about this. Think about that, right? So I was like, man, like if you think I have some alternative motive, you have no idea who I am. That's the crazy thing is like, if you really knew me, right? Like if you really got a chance to know me, like this is the person I am, right? I have a good heart, good intentions, and I love this country, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Like I fly a flag out front of my house. I wish that, I would have served this great country. For those that have served, my goodness, like I really appreciate it. Freedom isn't free. And it was the 4th of July, so I put on a bandana and just, man, Jesus, man, I love it. So, there's why do you think that there's United States, like these incredible Air Force, these planes that fly over Bryant-Denny before every single game? Like, get it. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think? Depending on and it's not even being political. Are you kidding me? I'm just saying, like, man, I love the country. So, anyways, so let me check the poll. So 53% say yes. 47% say no. See, I don't know. Like, if I had to vote right now, and I don't want to say this, I would probably say no. But Alabama has so much momentum. You don't know. Like what I do know is like you can't count Alabama out right now. And I know people are talking about Oregon and that Oregon has gone. Have you seen this as well? I guess I should have posted it on the board. That Oregon has, and Phil Knight, who owns Nike, has gone with unlimited resources for NIL for Oregon. And I was thinking about it. Man, that's entitlement? Like you just, you're unlimited in terms of, the money that you can get by just going somewhere. I've always felt that you should incentivize playing time. incentivize, if you catch 50 balls, that's $50,000 extra. You make the All-American team, it's $100,000. If, you graduate, there's, $500,000. Like, incentivize it. But, man, just, like, paying out to, like, build the roster, I don't think it works. I think teams have tried that over the last 2 years since this has really been something. And we haven't seen one of those teams built by money win a championship. I think you can, it helps. Interesting poll results right now. This is a close one. Only 40 votes so far. So if you haven't voted, be sure and vote. 52% think that Derek Meadows jumps on board. I'm asking you on the board, type A, B, or C if you think one of these guys, will jump on board. I guess I feel good. I like, for whatever, and Patriot in with 5 more fan funders. Patriot Life, man. Patriot Life's on fire today. I feel like the Khalid Lockett, because he's from Texas, I don't know why, I feel like that Texas connection with Keelan Russell, I think that'll get him and Ty Haywood to jump on board. That would be really 3 5-stars, because eventually Keelan Russell's going to be a 5-star. Khalid Lockett, already a 5-star. Ty Haywood, that's a 5-star. So then you would have 5 5-stars for Alabama just there. And I still think some other ones will jump on board. I'm going to go ahead and say I think Alabama ends up with 7 5-stars. That's just what I think. Okay, so I'm actually going to put my poll in here. And I don't make predictions or anything. That's not like, I'm not a prediction guy. I'm not like, I don't, follow the, I don't talk to like Derek Meadows. So I'm just, I'm kind of just voting based off what I think right now, but I hope I'm wrong. 54% are saying yes. Man, I love that. Okay. All right. While we continue to vote on that, I wanted to update this offensive line graphic. As you know, I do all the graphics in-house. What I mean by that is I do the graphics. So yesterday I had an error on this where I had CJ Dupree's face at the right tackle position. So I've updated that with Welcome Formby. If you live in Tuscaloosa, you'll see that Welcome Formby has some commercials, which for Taco Casa. So he has like this Taco Casa combo. It's like, I don't know, it's like 5 meals in one. Like PZ saying inside the comment box, Oregon is literally buying everybody. Kevin, what's up, man? I appreciate you being here. Yeah, Buck and I saw that Russell's a 5-star on 24/7 Sports, right? So like he's going to be a 5-star on consensus 5-star. And that's one thing that I disagree with on On3. I mean, I've been heavy On3, not paid by them or affiliated with them. I just feel that they missed the mark on that, and I think a lot of people feel the same way, clearly, by not having him as 5-star. But here's a look at what I feel Alabama's offensive line. If like Alabama played this coming Saturday, this is what I feel the offensive line would shake out. Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Caden Proctor. I also had to update that as well. Sophomore at the left tackle position, Tyler Booker, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Robertson will conform me. I think there's going to be heavy competition for the right tackle position going into this season. I would love for Will Conformby to be one of the guys. I also like McVay is a monster. Like he is absolute. He's a beast. He's huge. I think he's athletic enough. I think he's nasty. Him and Proctor would be, I think, a hell of a combo. And then I think, look, even though we've kind of penciled in Parker Brailsford at the center position, I really feel that there's going to be competition with Rock Montgomery. And look, I have no idea. Let me ask you, maybe you've seen it. Where do you think that Geno Vandermark will play? It seems like, because I was reading his bio recently, and it seems like he could be he's played right guard. Someone said that he could be a center. I haven't seen him play center. He was at Michigan State. I didn't see him play center. But I think, you look at kind of the depth. See, Jarvis is the same backup center, so you saw that somewhere. So did I. I can't remember where. And I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Elijah Pritchett. I don't know if Elijah Pritchett can play right tackle. I mean, he has the experience as well. You kind of look to, the future of Alabama's offensive line. Olas Alanin, right, at right tackle. Joseph Ionita. I think he was at center too. Will Sanders, Casey Pope. People love Casey Pope. What's up, Jamie? I see you inside the comment box. Max, I agree with you. I think when you look to a player like Geno Vandermark, I think he could be multiple positions as well, right? See, even Caitlin saw the backup center. Yeah, I don't know where we saw that. Maybe we'll kind of do a little digging. Appreciate you guys being here. Got 117 in. Run the thumbs up. Oh, and heads up, like, if you guys see me streaming like playing Madden, it might pop up. I usually stream like 8 p.m. Don't be like, or if you see me upload like, Prime's press conference today, he's talking to Colorado. Don't be alarmed. It's just stuff that I'm adding to the channel. It's always going to be Alabama centric, but I talk college football as well. So don't be alarmed if you see like Prime's press conference go up on the channel today. He speaks today at Big 12 Media. So, I'm kind of grasping for concepts to talk about as we inch towards the college football season. So if you see me streaming Madden and like hanging out, letting my hair down, then hang out with me at like 8 p.m. Or if you see, Prime's press conference or whatever go up on the channel, like just support it in terms of like a college football volume. Thank you so much for understanding that. All right, let's look at this. These are the wide receivers, okay? So really excited about this group, and I have a question for you. And I'm going to talk about Kobe. I want to do like a player spotlight. And we're going to talk about Kobe Prentice. But before we do that, out of this group right here, which wide receiver do you think is going to, I guess have a breakout year? And the reason I ask that is because when you look to the stats, okay, so put your hand over Jeremy Bernard's numbers, right? How many yards did he catch at Alabama last year? 0. Okay, because he was at Washington. Kobe Prentice, the leading wide receivers, look at the 3. Alabama doesn't, while these guys are a little bit older, Jeremy Bernard, Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, Emmanuel Henderson, look, they are all going to get their opportunities to feast this coming year. Prentice had 314 yards last season, which is the most. And what's surprising to me is I have hyped up Kendrick Law so much, and I'm still going to, but he only caught for 135 yards last season. Jalen Hill caught for more than him off only 5 catches, right? So I don't know. When you look to this group, who do you think out of this group right here is going to have a breakout year? And one of the guys that I think we keep we're not talking about him a lot is Bubba Hampton. I think when you look to Bubba Hampton and you start to look at kind of the depth chart of this group, man, Bubba Hampton could be an amazing player at the H position. That H position is that slot position, right? So this is kind of how I've drawn out Alabama's wide receiver depth so far, okay? This is just if Alabama had to play a game this coming Saturday. Kendrick Law, the bigger guy on the outside, right, the X position. Jeremy Bernard, the guy you can put in motion. And then behind Kendrick Law, I have Emmanuel Henderson and Ryan Williams. And then I have at the Z position, Caleb Odom and Hamilton. You look at the future of Alabama, my goodness. Those wide receivers, oof. Kobe Prentice at the H, Cole Adams. And you could theoretically have Kobe Prentice for another 2 seasons. Right? You have him this season and then the year after. I don't, kind of depending on what happens with him, I don't know if he's, going to leave after his junior year, but you could have 2 more seasons of Kobe Prentice, which is scary for the rest of college football. Cole Adams, he's going to be, he's probably super underrated, and so is Bubba Hampton. We don't talk. How many times have we even said Bubba Hampton's name? That's no disrespect. I think there's so many guys on there. Sometimes these guys get lost in the shuffle. And again, it's like no disrespect to these guys. And then, the tight end room, CJ Dupree, Danny Lewis. You recently just picked up a tight end in the class of 2025, who I think is very comparable to Danny Lewis. Danny Lewis is 6'5", 260 pounds. Josh Cuevas, who's the addition from Washington, and then Robbie Oots, depending on the packages, right? So that's kind of a look at the Bama depth chart. Now I wanted to talk specifically about Kobe Prentice. He's an in-state guy that I think we need to start hyping up for a variety of reasons. If you are excited or a fan of Kobe Prentice and respect his game, will you type P for Prentice inside the comment box right now? Kobe Prentice is the H position, which is a slot wide receiver for Alabama. He has underrated speed. He has really good hands. At one point during the season last year, do you ever remember what I was calling him? Kobe Sticky Hands Prentice. And I think when you look to the wide receivers at Alabama, we have hyped up Ryan Williams, rightfully so. We are really excited about Jeremy Bernard, what he's going to do, and what he did for the spring game. That was elite, right? We're excited about that. We have talked about Kendrick Law and the gains that he has and the fact that he's a bigger wide receiver. He looks ripped. He's, one of the fastest players as well. We've talked about Caleb Odom moving from tight end to wide receiver. But we have not really talked about Kobe Prentice. And if utilized correctly, which I think he will be in this offense, I think Kobe Sticky Hands Prentice could have a monster season. And I think, when you're looking at these ratings for, NCAA football, he better have, a 96 catch rating, because this guy made some incredible catches last year. I think the world of college football is sleeping on him. He caught for 314 yards last year. He can beat you over the top. He can go over the middle. He's an in-state talent. He's a super good individual. Like, root for this guy. Like, I love the in-state guys, right? When I was in New Mexico, I love when those guys got a shot to step on the field Saturday. And same thing for Alabama. Now that I lived here, for 8 years, I love and appreciate when guys can get from high school and play in front of Brian Denny. I can't even imagine how their family feels. Think about that, right? So, Kobe Prentice, I don't know how many yards he's going to catch for. The guy is very humble. But when he does get to the podium, he's articulate. He's very smart. And I think the world of college football will find out soon about Kobe Prentice. But I kind of just wanted to throw a little spotlight on him today, because sometimes these players get lost in the shuffle, and I don't want people to forget about Kobe Prentice. Like, he's special, and he's super talented. So Alabama fans, super lucky to have a player like him coming back for this 2024 season. I think Kobe Prentice honestly going to eat. So kind of rounding it up, we talked about Derek Meadows, and if you're just joining us, I appreciate you guys for being here during July, during, the summer months. It's hot outside, but it's been the cold summer. Derek Meadows to announce. The poll question reads that 67% believe that Derek Meadows will commit to Alabama on Saturday. I still don't have an exact time. We will be live as news happens. And then I asked you, which wide receiver do you think will commit? Is it Derek Meadows? Is it Khalid Lockett? Travis Smith? Is it all of them? Who else is going to join up with Alabama? We really didn't hit on Mike Gundy, but I thought, it was interesting yesterday. Mike Gundy, who's the head football coach at Oklahoma State, he had some sound bites, and he always has these sound bites, but he was asked about Ollie Gordon, right? The Doak Walker Award winner, if he was going to suspend him because he had a DUI. He said he's not going to suspend him. It's always interesting to see the way the head football coaches handle these internal situations with their team. I kind of look back on it like what Coach Saban did and how will Coach Kalen DeBoer handle these future instances, right? I think that, it puts them in a difficult spot. These guys are younger. None of us are perfect. Coach Saban, I thought, did a really good job, I come to think about it. You guys have followed Alabama football fans much longer than I have, right? But in the past 8 seasons, I can't think of many guys that Coach Saban kicked off the actual team. I think one of them might have been one of my good friends here, Donnie Lee Jr. And Donnie Lee, if you know the story about him, he's a wide receiver. What he's done and the impact that he's had on the youth here in Tuscaloosa is monumental. We had him on the show, a month or so ago. So it's always kind of interesting to see from that standpoint, what coaches are going to do. But anyways, Coach Prime in Colorado, now part of the Big 12, will be at the podium today. So if you see that upload come through on your notifications, don't freak out. Yeah, and now I can say that. Kayla, I can say I'm a man, I'm 40, because I turned 40 this past November. But that was probably one of the best sound bites. So that was one of the best sound bites ever. So was Coach Saban, throw shit up on the wall, see if it stings, and then, or see if it sticks, and then playoffs, right? Right? Playoffs. Playoffs, and then Allen Iverson's practice, right? We're talking about practice. Man, I loved AI, man. I even had like the sleeve. All right, so Kenneth is saying, I heard yesterday that Lockett is leaning towards Alabama. That would be great. Also, hope getting man, come on board. I mean, who doesn't want to play with the quarterback like Keelan Russell, in the future? And I think that you want to be coached. Can you imagine getting coached up and the energy that you'll be coached up with every single day by Jamarcus Shepard? That'd be crazy. All right. So I appreciate you guys joining me for my morning segment. Now, remember, during the season, my segments will be different. They'll probably be a little bit more formal since we'll be covering actual college football. And I think that, the practices being in the morning, there's going to be more volume to talk about in the morning, which will be Garrett's been a fan before you were born. See, that's what I'm saying. No, the total Alabama fans on here, and around the country and around the world is amazing. So I always get to interact with different people who are much older or younger. It's cool to see. I love it all. But during the season, my show will be longer. I have the call-in line open, and I'll kind of gravitate towards what is happening. So with the team now practicing in the morning, this is all new. Everything is new. So you're going to see a lot of new things on the show this year. My goal, honestly, yesterday, I was asked what are some of my goals? And I was talking about consistency, consistency in performance, not something that Coach Saban always spoke about. So, that's one of the things that I want to continue to work on for myself. And just I feel that is a simple yet realistic goal to have. So I appreciate you guys. And I always want to put, effort into the graphics, into my delivery, to the audio, into the look and the feel. And I also want to remind you, there's a lot of great content creators out there. Please support them. Go check out their channels. Check out their YouTube channels. A lot of people doing some great things covering Alabama football. I love how, we've kind of moved to this free kind of platform in a sense with the news, but of course it's free to watch, not free to produce. So you guys chipping in for my livelihood, honestly, thank you so much. It means a great deal to me. Patriot Life crushing it today, and everybody else, Henry, and if I didn't mention you on the super chats, don't hold it against me, hold it against my heart. But I really appreciate you guys getting in here today and supporting me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. You can find me as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. You can find different videos that I'll upload as we start to get closer to college football. William in with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, and look, the Turbo Rogers flip watch that was put out by Steve Whitfong, he said he could, potentially be a flip watch candidate, but I don't know how much is going to go into that. And of course, we're still watching A.K. Deer, who decommitted from Ole Miss. Even if you see me streaming tonight, don't be alarmed. It's just streaming Madden, just having fun with it. People jump in. I might do it. I usually do it around 8 p.m. Central Time. It's informal. I even checked out the audio. The audio doesn't sound that good, to be honest, but it's all right. I mean, we're just having fun with it. So thank you so much for everybody that joined me. Chris, I appreciate you, man. Stay relentless. Absolutely, 100%. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much for starting your day with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Be good people. Stay inspired. Be healthy. Enjoy this great thing we call life. And I will catch up with you as news happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama, my name is Kyle Henderson, and I'll catch you next time right here on Bama.